The district is tired of hearing people complain about the transportation thing, and the thing is, we're not trying to be selfish. We're not trying to be inconsiderate of the budget, but it's not a smart choice to cut busing off for kids in kindergarten, first, and second grade. They're not old enough. They shouldn't be expected to be old enough to navigate that. In the snow that comes up to half their height, crossing roads that an adult can barely cross safely. It's a mess with a simple solution. And these are only a few tidbits of the issue. And I feel like I sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I'll beat this dead horse into the freaking ground. Because it's a safety concern. And the safety of my first grader and my kindergartner is more important to me than a portion of their transportation budget cuts. It just is. The safety of the tiny children in our entire city is more important. Ugh, I knew if I started talking about this, it was just going to be a rant, though. I'm going to post it anyway because I need to do things that are out of my comfort zone. I hate ranting, I hate complaining, I hate spreading negativity. I really didn't want to do a video on this, but it's so heavy on my heart lately, and me and my fiance are so actively involved in the school to help resolve this for every parent that seems to be at risk of their child being run over. And it happened to, there was a couple years back, the city that I live in is one of the, 10 most, the 10 cities most plagued by child abductions. I mean, what's it going to take? Is it going to take a child going missing? 2, 3? Is it going to take a child getting hurt from being hit by a car or a bus? Is it going to take the death of a child from serious injury on their way to or from school before people start seeing that there's a serious safety concern and that the safety concern should come before a dollar sign? And to top it all off, apparently they bought some type of program 2 years ago to increase the safety of those who do ride the school bus. And the app is pretty much useless except for the fact that it has GPS location for the buses so that you know when your bus is going to be passing by in case it's delayed or it's early. And apparently every child gets a card that they scan when they get on and scan when they get off so that you know that your child got on the bus and you know that your child got off the bus and where. But you bought this huge system and took 2 years to put it into place and did it purely to increase the safety and security of the kids on their way to and from school, and then you disqualify over half of the kids in the district from riding the bus. You spend all this money trying to increase the safety of kids getting to and from school on the school transportation buses, and then you don't make that safety available to half the district. It doesn't make any sense. So what? The only kids worth keeping safe are the ones that live more than a mile from their school? You increased safety, but you only wanted to increase safety for kids that live further than a mile from their school. The ones that live within a mile from the school, shoot, there's no safety concerns for them, right? It's aggravating and heartbreaking, and it doesn't make sense. It's not logical. And we're going to continue to speak out on it until something is done. Until there's a discussion over a compromise. Community bus stops, so that you reduce the amount of bus stops for the kids that are 7, 6, and 5 years old. There are solutions and compromises that can be made here. There are options if you include the people in the district and work as a team. I say it all the time. I say it all the time. Every problem comes down to one of two factors: communication and teamwork. If either one of those are out of place, then the whole thing will fall apart. And there was no teamwork in cutting off busing within a mile, and there was no communication with the community about whether or not that was a smart choice. There was no educated research. They just looked at a piece of paper and saw that they needed to cut down those numbers, so they did. Okay, well, my 5-year-old and my 6-year-old aren't a number. Their lives amount to a hell of a lot more than the number you think you're decreasing in your transportation budget. Trust and believe. If a child is seriously injured or worse because of this transportation issue, I guarantee you it is going to cost the district a heck of a lot more than the amount of money that they're saving by not providing busing for them. Trust and believe. And it shouldn't have to come to that. And it's really scary to say that if something isn't done, it just might come to that. But I've ranted on long enough now. I just felt like I needed to talk about it. I feel like the only thing I can do in my position is talk about it and spread it around and make it known that it's not okay. So this is my way, from my home, from my family, for the safety of my children, my son that almost got hit by a school bus. Oh, which, by the way, the school blames him for. Yeah. The principal said multiple staff members observed my son being unsafe on purpose. Alright. We'll see what the Board of Education has to say to that response. It's not something that somebody needs to be at fault for. It's not something that needs to have blame laid on one individual person or an entity or department. It's not. It was just an ill-advised choice that people made without getting all of the facts or the research or the education together to be prepared enough to make the choice. That's all it is. It was a bad choice, and now it needs to be resolved. And that's it. It is okay that no one is to blame for this. It just needs to be fixed. It just needs to be spoken about and communicated with as an entire district. People need to work together to find a solution. I can tell you one thing though, blaming somebody for this, that, and the other, and blaming this department, and blaming that person, and blaming this choice, that's not gonna resolve anything. It's not gonna get us any closer to finding a resolution. It's not making our kids any safer to fight and point fingers. But best thing I can do, I guess, is keep talking and keep trying to be heard. So, prayers for every child in the district. Prayers that nothing bad happens to them. Prayers that concerns are heard and solutions are found and proper measures are taken before something happens that can't be blamed on someone, can't be reasoned away, can't be tossed aside. But that's my Wednesday.